first, last night's Texas primary results.
Hi, I'm out here at the Union Fest, and I'll have the story for you in a little bit.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining NTTV News at Noon. I'm Jaden Crumpton.
And I'm Leah Correas. Last night was Texas primaries election, and now that the votes are in, many are wondering how the results turned out.
Our Political Pulse anchor, Gabriela Cruz, can tell us all about it. Gabriela?
Certainly, you guys. After a long night filled with uncertainty and anticipation, the Texas primary results are officially in, and some key races are already signaling what direction both parties may take this coming fall. Last night, State Representative James Talarico won the Democratic primary for U.S. Senate, defeating Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett in a close race. Talarico won by the nomination by about 6 points vote. The race highlights two very different visions for the Democratic Party. Talarico ran on what he calls politics of life, focusing on building alliances across party lines and engaging voters on religion and cultural issues, topics many Democrats have recently avoided. Crockett, meanwhile, on the other hand, campaigned more confrontationally, arguing that Democrats must push back against MAGA politics with equal intensity, with voters choosing between those two strategies. The primary became a test of which direction Democratic voters ultimately want their party to go.
Tonight, our campaign is shocking the nation. We are still waiting for an official call, but we are confident in this movement we've built together. Every vote must be counted. Every voice must be heard. The voter suppression in my home county and in Congresswoman Crockett's home county underscores the gravity of this moment. This movement is about whether the people will hold the power in this state and in this country. Tonight, the people of our state gave this country a little bit of hope, and a little bit of hope is a dangerous thing.
Talarico now advances to the general election in November. But the Democratic primary wasn't the only race keeping Texas voters on the edge of their seats. On the Republican side, the Senate primary is far from over. After a tight race between Senator John Cornyn and Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, the GOP is headed to a runoff. Cornyn finished ahead, but only by about 1% of the vote, a margin just a few thousand ballots. That means neither candidate secured the majority needed to win the nomination outright. The race was also complicated by a third candidate who drew support from conservative voters and ultimately split the field. Former President Donald Trump did not officially endorse either Cornyn or Paxton, saying he was happy with both candidates. Texas Republican voters will return to the polls in the coming months and decide who will represent the party in the general election. And while some races were decided by votes, others are now facing questions about how those votes were actually cast. The Texas Supreme Court has ordered Dallas County to set aside ballots during extended voting hours after confusion over new primary election rules. On Tuesday, hundreds of voters in Dallas and Williamson counties were turned away from polling places after a new policy required people to vote at only their assigned precincts in Dallas County, allowing people 2 additional hours to cast ballots. But late Tuesday night, the all-Republican Senate Supreme Court ruled that any ballots cast during that extended period must be kept separate. Officials say those votes were cast using provisional ballots, and it remains unclear how many will ultimately be counted. Democratic leaders say they are now considering legal options as the situation continues to develop. But the Senate race isn't the only one keeping Texas voters waiting. Several House district races are also headed off to the runoffs, foreseeing projected wins. More on those results, we go back to Jaden at the desk.
Thanks, Gabriella. Like you said, it's not just potential senators entering a runoff, but representatives too. In North Texas's 33rd Congressional District, former Senate challenger Colin Allred has taken incumbent Julie Johnson into a runoff, with the two garnering 44.8% and 33.7% of the vote respectively. Colin Allred held the seat from 2019 to 2025, but opted to run for Senate against Ted Cruz in the 2024 election, giving way for Julie Johnson to take his spot. Now, following his loss to Cruz, Allred is attempting to return to his seat in the newly redrawn district, a task that's proven difficult due to Julie Johnson's popularity. Sitting entirely in Dallas County, the newly redrawn District 33 is a Democratic stronghold, meaning the winner of this runoff will likely be heading to Washington next year. The GOP also faces a runoff with a tense battle between rivals Tony Gonzalez and Brandon Herrera set to take place in Texas District 23. This is the second runoff between the two. In 2024, Tony Gonzalez beat out Herrera by just a few hundred votes. This time around, controversy shrouds the race as the incumbent Gonzalez faces scandal. Other lawmakers have accused Gonzalez of having an affair with a former aide of his who died by suicide last year. District 23, stretching from parts of San Antonio all the way to El Paso, is securely in favor of the GOP, meaning the winner of this runoff will also likely head to Washington.
Frederick Haynes III won the Democratic nomination for Texas 30th Congressional District, a seat currently held by outgoing Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Crockett's decision to run for the U.S. Senate created a rare opportunity for Haynes, who just launched his campaign this January. Haynes is a well-known Dallas pastor and civil rights activist. He emphasized that his decades of experience working with Southern Dallas communities positioned him to represent the area effectively in Washington, D.C. His campaign focused on health care for all, economic equality, and abolishing ICE. Given the district's large Democratic voter history, a Democratic win for the 30th district can be expected this November. Texas House of Representatives incumbent Andy Hopper of District 64 set to run for re-election in November. Hopper won the GOP nomination and will face Democrat nominee Julie Evans in November. The GOP nominee is a University of North Texas alum, which is located within the 64th district, historically known for its large GOP voter population. While on my way to the studio, I thought I saw some rain clouds forming.
Yeah, it looked like the sun wasn't even out at all, to be honest. But our weather anchor, Katie Munson, can tell us how the rest of the day might look. Katie?
Thanks, guys. Well, you both are right. We are going to have some storms later on today. But for now, let's go ahead and take a look at our current conditions. Right now, we are at 74 with 15 miles per hour wind speeds and seeing some clouds right now in the air. Going on to tonight's conditions, looks like we have 64 with wind speeds at 6 miles per hour. And then looking at tomorrow's weather conditions, looks like we're going to be at 72 with a nice 15 miles per hour winds. That's all I have for first look. Back to you guys at the desk.
When we come back, UNT is celebrating the history of the University Union.
And a dramatic rescue from a hot air balloon coming up.
She was the oldest woman to ever medal in the slalom run. So I believe she's now the youngest. Yes, the youngest and the oldest.
Prominent women's sports is right now, especially when women's hockey is one of the biggest growing sports in the world right now.
If somebody told you, kind of coming back to the past and telling your past self that this team would be one win away from making the college football playoff, how would you react knowing that you've covered this team for so long?
Let's talk a little bit about the strengths of this UNT basketball team. Like, what are we good at? When it comes to UNT, we've always been a slower paced team, and that has continued into the Daniel Robinson era.
And welcome to a very special edition of Prove It or Lose It.
Matthew.
Can I have Silverstone? It's the only name that looks familiar.
Last week, Texas Women's University students walked out of their classes as part of a walkout protest. The protest was in retaliation to increased ICE enforcement in Denton. Take a look. Chants echoed across Texas Women's University as dozens of students filed out of class and gathered outside the student union.
We are here to protest against ICE. Just the horribleness that's happening in this world is absolutely nuts, because we have to remember, at the end of the day, immigrants built America.
The protest was organized by the Denton Anti-ICE Coalition in response to recent actions of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE, and rumors of its increased presence in Denton. The students marched outside Hubbard Hall, sending a clear message to administration. ICE is not welcome on their campus. Faculty members marched alongside students, sharing worries about how increased immigration enforcement could impact their international students.
It is important to me because I have several international students and several students that come from other countries who are feeling very vulnerable and very scared right now because of the stories that they've seen about ICE raids at other places.
Denton has seen a surge in student activism in the recent months, including walkout protests from high school students and right here at the University of North Texas. For now, students and faculty are making sure that their voices are heard, and they say the conversation on campus is far from over.
Thanks, Katie. I don't know about you, Leah, but I feel like there are a lot of people in the union today.
Well, that's because today is Union Fest. Our live reporter, Michaela Dixon, is at the scene and can tell us all about it. Michaela?
Good afternoon. I'm Michaela Dixon, and I'm reporting live at the Union. Today we celebrate the Union Fest. Behind me, students are enjoying music, food, and different booths from different vendors all around. Union Fest plays an important role in building campus community for students, especially new students finding their way. Throughout the day, students can win prizes, learn more about clubs and campuses, resources at the university, and even a silent dance party. Union Fest continues throughout the whole day, so make sure to stop by and join the festivities. I'm Michaela Dixon, and thank you guys for tuning back in with me. Back to you guys at the desk.
Out with the old and in with the new. That seems to be the attitude around campus when it comes to reading, a leisure activity that now feels like it's becoming a relic of the past. 40%. That's how much reading for leisure has declined among Americans in the last 20 years, as reported by a 2025 study from the University of Florida. Experts cite this figure as significant and deeply concerning, pointing to our digital age as a leading cause for the dip, especially among teens and young adults.
I mean, it's human nature to like stories and be interested in stories, but I guess if you're getting kind of your story fix from a short little reel, then they don't look out past that for any kind of story or narrative.
For students, picking up a book is more than just a pastime, as the benefits of frequent reading tend to shine through in the classroom.
I definitely can tell when a kid is well read, usually the way they speak and the way they write. If it's at sort of a higher level, it's pretty much always the case that I ask that kid, hey, are you a reader? And they'll say, yeah, I'm reading this right now. So there's almost always a correlation, I think.
Curious whether the testimony of UNT students would line up with the data, I ventured to Willis Library, where I asked students when it was that they most recently read a book.
During the summer.
Like elementary school.
Honestly, probably like a year ago. I've started a couple, but I've never really finished any. I mean, you kind of just get bored of it after a couple of pages, and then you just kind of hop on like TikTok or YouTube.
Reporting for North Texas Television, I'm Jaden Crumpton.
I don't know about you, Jaden, but I love rainy weather. I just want to go out and do errands.
I definitely can't agree with that. I'm going home and I'm going to wait out this storm. Let's see if our weather anchor Katie Muncie can tell us more about what to expect, though. Katie?
Yeah, Leah, I completely agree. I love rainy weather. I'm not too sure about that Aaron part though. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at our North Texas map. Starting over here in Denton, we are standing at a nice 74. Over here in McKinney, we are at 76. Heading up north to Gainesville and Sherman, we are at 74. And then over here by Paris, we are at 75, 76 in Sulphur Springs. Flipping back over here, we are at 67 in Bowie, 63 in Graham. Down here, we are at 75 in Stephenville and a nice 73 in Decatur. Let's go ahead and take a look at our state map. All right, up north in Oklahoma City, we are at 53, heating up a little bit over in Amarillo at 57, moving over to Shreveport, 79. We're all the way up at 80 in Houston and 80 in Austin. Spring break has already started over there. Over here, we are at 76 in El Paso. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our 7-day forecast. All right, starting off with tomorrow, we are going to be at 80 degrees. It's very stormy throughout the week. As you can see, not a whole lot of sun is going to be happening during spring break, unfortunately. Friday, we are going to be at 77 with a 54% chance of rain. Saturday, we are seeing even more rain at 85%. Sunday looks like we kind of have clear skies, a little bit cloudy at 69. And then Monday and Tuesday, we are going to have a high chance of rain at 41 and 59. And then Wednesday looks like we will finally get a break from all that stormy weather. Well, that's all I have for weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Katie. Crews in East Texas rescued 2 people after they were caught in a hot air balloon accident this weekend. The hot air balloon became entangled on a communications tower Saturday morning. Firefighters found the balloon more than 900 feet above the ground. The rescue was hours long and involved more than a dozen firefighters to secure the man and woman in the balloon's basket. Both were brought down from the tower safely and were taken to a hospital for precautionary measures. When we come back, it's all about sports. Find out what's happening in the world of baseball.
And how TCU women's basketball is climbing the ranks. Up next.
Craving something fresh, flavorful, and made just for you? Look no further than Avesta, your go-to destination for a delicious, full-service dining experience. Dive into our customizable omelets, expertly crafted by our talented cook Jonathan, who guarantees every bite is perfection. All our dishes are handmade, prepared with only the freshest ingredients. Explore our assembly line where you can choose from any of our globally inspired dishes, or customize your plate. It's that easy. And let's not forget dessert. Indulge your sweet tooth with treats from Clark Bakery. With convenient payment methods including card or flex, it's the perfect dining spot for any occasion. Quench your thirst with our wide selection of drinks. Just hand your drinking card to our friendly waiter, and they'll bring your beverage of choice right to your table. When you're done savoring every last bite, our attentive staff will whisk away your tray. Enjoy the peaceful ambiance as you dine in, or use our takeout option for a meal on the go. Avesta.
I warned them that this was dangerous, but did they listen? No!
I've been having these dreams.
Welcome in.
This is part of the process, Eric.
I only want what is best for you.
You want me to go on and on with the program until there's nothing left of me.
We are one now. Our goals are the same.
No, they're not.
Back, the 2026 World Baseball Classic begins tonight. While also promoting baseball on the global scale, this international tournament lets professional players from around the world represent their country, all of them competing for the title of world champion. In 2023, the last time the tournament was held, Japan, led by MLB MVP Shohei Ohtani, took home the title, defeating the United States in the final. The first matchup tonight will see Australia taking on Chinese Taipei in group play at 9.
More on sports. On Monday night, TCU women's basketball won over their longtime rival, the Baylor Bears. This win thrust the TCU Frogs into the Big 12 Conference, a major NCAA division collegiate competition, including sports like basketball and football. This win extended the Frogs into an impressive 42-game win streak. TCU plays against Oklahoma State on Friday, March 6th. If they win, the team will advance to semifinals.
There's a lot happening in the sports world, Leah.
Yeah, you're really right about that, Jaden. Our sports anchor, Christina Orozco, I am so sorry, has even more for us.
Thank y'all. Stay tuned after the break for more information on F1, the Dallas Stars, and TWU basketball.
I'm so sorry, Queen. I read it and they wouldn't come out. I was like, it's wrong.
Dude, who wrote? Is the TCU basketball?
The Texas women's basketball team has sustained the #1 spot in the WBCA national poll after they defeated Texas A&M International and Texas A&M Kingsville. This team has won 25 games straight and finished their regular season as the Lone Star Conference champs. This is the Pioneers' first undefeated LSC season. TWU leads the league in free throw percentage and field goal percentage, while also ranking 3rd in LSC in scoring with 70.1 points per game. Postseason starts off strong for TWU as they enter the LSC tournament as the #1 seed, facing teams like LCU, West Texas A&M, UT Tyler, and more. The tournament will start on Friday and carry throughout the weekend at Co-America Center in Frisco. Student tickets are on sale for $15 each, so go ahead and grab yours and support our lovely Pioneers. And the Dallas Stars remain on fire, extending their franchise record win streak as they clinched their 10th win in a row, defeating the Calgary Flames 6-1 last night. Sam Steele got 2 goals and an assist, with Jamie Benn and Wyatt Johnston each having a goal and an assist, with Matt Duchene having a career high of 4 assists for the Stars, and the defense was able to stop Calgary to just 1 goal, with Casey DeSmith holding down with 20 saves. The Stars are second in the Central Division. They face the Colorado Avalanche next, who hold the Central Division #1 spot by just a few games. They play on Friday at 7, and we will get to see if they get that 11th win. And lastly, Formula One is finally back as they start off the new season in Australia this weekend. It is an exciting comeback as we will see a beginning of the new era with widespread regulation changes, practically seeing some of these teams start from scratch in terms of their cars and meeting new guidelines. Not only that, we are greeted with new teams and drivers this season. America has a new team on the grid, the Cadillac F1 team. They are making their debut with veteran drivers Checo Perez and Valtteri Bottas, hopefully delivering some points or a podium or two to start their kickoff right. The weather for last year's race was rough with significant rainfall, but it is looking good for race day in Melbourne with clear skies and warmer temperatures. The race will start at 10 p.m. Central Time on Saturday night. So tune in to the start of the 2026 season. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Christina. Everyone needs a spa day now and then, even great-grandma rhinos.
Make, a rhino in her 40s at an Australian zoo, is now too old to roll around in the mud like her youthful counterparts. Because of this, she's become accustomed to spa treatment, getting high-quality mud rubs from zoo staff in order to protect her skin from the sun and keep her cool.
Well, Jaden, I don't know about you, but I could definitely use a spa day.
Rhino, no. Thanks for watching NTTV News at Noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 and tomorrow at noon here on North Texas Television.